Okay, this morning we're looking at marketing automation, a whole process of how you can set up an automation process to send out emails automatically to your leads, to your clients, and to any other segment that you prepare. So from a setting perspective, we have to start with settings every time we are on the marketing campaign. Now we do not require our leads to have a phone number, so they can register with an email, so that is okay. Then we set up different categories. These are categories of what we want to set up or how we want our campaigns to be. A category can be one for customers, so we have a category for segments, a category for leads, a category for all these products that we have for SMS and for emails. So I would add a new category and call this new category, say, existing customers. And it will be a segment. And in that segment, you can choose any color. And then existing clients campaign. And then you submit. Then we can add a new category again and say existing clients or customers. We can call this, we can title this, we can put this as a campaign because we want a campaign for our existing clients. We change the color and then we say it's a campaign for existing clients. Then we submit. Then we can add a new category. This category we can call it existing customer still, but this we call email template, so that we change this to email template. We can put descriptions of what you want here and then submit. For purposes of this, so we have email, existing clients segment, existing clients campaign. Then I can set a new category and I say existing customers SMS template, and then I pick on the SMS template and I can give it the same narration, is for existing clients campaign or something like that, and then we submit. Again, under this new category is where we set up every infrastructure of the campaign. So we also have existing clients and we have SMS. So here we can pick SMS and then we submit. And then we can also have a new category for existing clients. And I call this email. Submit. So we can create existing clients form, or we can create a leads form, or everything on that under the category. On email templates, since we have already set up email templates, we can create emails. They're already existing email templates, so we can either edit whatever is existing or create a new email. So like for instance, if I view this is an existing email template which you can modify, you can clone, you can modify, you can change. So all you just need to do is to click on design. And once you click on design, it can allow us to change. We can upload an image. Say we are uploading an image, a different image. We can so let's say we want to use some host's logo. I upload that and it changes the logo. We can come here and change the writings and say existing or whatever campaign you want to run. You can come and change the background of or the background of this. You can change the photo, and you can change all aspects of this email template that you want to have or to change. We can change all these photos that are here and put in other photos and link all these buttons to relevant URLs that we want to link here, and then can action. We can change the background colors of the different buttons. We can change the colors for the fonts, depending on what we want to use or how we want to drive the campaign. We can change that. So we're able to customize that particular email. We're able to customize it the way we want. And then of course we can use the merge fields to put it on our, so like for instance, you can say contact first email, and then when it comes to this email, we can have hello, and then instead of there, we can put that, we can have, let me just, so we can come and put in the first name here, so that we address a person or the client, or the template will be dynamic. So we can say hi. Under that, it will pick the name of the particular person and customize according to the client. So that's how we set up, or that's how we look at all these setups. And then once we've done all the changes, we submit that template. So we can rename that template, we can replicate that template to use on our campaigns. Now, again, same, when you're under marketing automation, we are on settings. So under the emails, we can be able to set up an email template. Either existing, we can clone this and change it. We can clone whatever is existing and change it. We can edit what is existing and decide what we want to use that for our various campaigns. Then same thing with SMS templates. We can create an SMS template. We can add a new template. So I can say I want to add an SMS template. I can call it thank you SMS, and the category is existing customers template, and then it's a description. I submit. What that allows us to do is to set up a template for an SMS under the existing client template that we've already created under category. Then I'm able to design. So I'm able to say hi, and then come and say, pick in the contact to personalize the SMSs. I want to pick in the first name. And then with that, I want to say thank you for your support. And then once I create that template, I'm able to save that. So we've created the category. Then on the category, we have an existing customer SMS template that we've created and submitted. Then it's important the same way we've done that under settings. Under email templates, we also need to create and add a new email template, or we edit an existing email template. So when we add a new email template, or we edit an existing one, and then we call it existing clients, and then the category is, you remember we already did these categories under categories, and then we are able to submit. When you're able to submit that, we can add, or we can clone a design, or add every time it's fast, we have to add a language before we are able to design any template. So once you pick the language, and for our case it's English. Then we're able to design a template, or we're able to design what we're going to send into the clients. So this opens for us a design for us to do a drag and drop design of a template of what we want. So you're dropping, you have your social channels, you have your image there, you have your, so we come here and say, come to awesome hosts, and then category, you can upload an image like we just did, upload the logo. Same way you say, let's upload that, and then you open that, the image comes through. Then we go on and say, probably we want to do columns here. So under the columns, we want to do 3 columns, and then we add content here. We're saying we're adding an image here. And then again, we can add image, we can upload image. Here we can add content. The add content, we can say we want to have text or heading, or we can pull in text here. And then here we can say we want to put in, again, we add content, and then we add another image there. So this allows us to quickly or format what we want and build up our own email templates. However, we can still edit the email templates that we had. We can edit whatever we add, and then we'll be good to go. So I can put that image, I can open and put that there. I can upload an image there, and I say, let me put that image. And this text, we can say, we can put awesome hosts services are the best, and whatever details you want to put there. We can also just add a section there, and in this section we can add content depending on what we want to do on that section, and on and on and on until we create this. You can say here, I want to add a button, and that button I want to say read more. And then if I want to read more, I want to take you to awesomehosts.biz, and then I want to say you open a new tab. It can open on the same tab, but I want you to open on a new tab. Then once you're done with your email or with your welcome to Awesome Hosts, and then we can add here and pick a client's contact first name. This is just allowing us to personalize the email. So we have welcome to Awesome Hosts, whether Fidel, Samuel, or whichever name is there. And then we can be able to fully personalize. If you want to have the private policy, the terms and conditions, we can put them down on the email when you are going down to set up new for more. So as our socials, we can drop them here and then connect them on the various socials, connect all of them to the various socials that we have. There is a paddings, how we change, how we hide, whether it show more options. All these are able. We can increase the size of the icons so that they're much bigger than what we are seeing. We can reduce, we can increase the spacing between the icons, or we can reduce the spacing between the icons. Once we are done with that, again, we submit that. So that we've created the template for emails, we've created templates for messaging, and therefore we continue again in setting up our campaign. So we are still on automation and we are still on settings. So we've already set our templates, and then we can now configure email configuration. So email configuration is the system default. That means the configuration that already are set in the system under the setting, or we can create specific, whenever we are running campaigns, we can add another specific SMTP configuration if we do not want to use the default system configuration. So we allow that to be, and then we can create a sending limit, especially when we are using our own SMTP. We can say, I want to only send 100 emails in such and such an interval. So that becomes what we want to do. Customs, yes, that can remain for now, but it's just to customize the level of emails and everything we want during our campaign. So in order to set up that campaign, in order to set up a marketing automation campaign, we have now finished on our settings. Now we have segments. So segments are created differently. So we have a segment that we are going to have segment for customers. We have segment for prospects or leads. So we set up different segments depending on the campaign. So we can add a new segment and say the new segment we want to set up is titled existing customers. You can see everything I am naming according to the categories that we created. So the categories we created is existing customer. Then I went ahead and created templates under existing customers so that the campaign is just fashioned under that brand of existing customers. So, sorry, when you are on this, let me just go back to the segments. We can edit the segment. So I would want to edit this existing customer segment to edit it. And in editing, I'm able to say what are the filters. I can say it is leads, or for this is existing customers. We can create who we want to. That means the filters to which kind of clients we want to, which companies, which groups, which country. So by that we're able to say, remember when we open a client, we put in groups. So we can be able to say these groups, Kenyans clients, South African clients, and I can do that and set up the various filters for who will be under that campaign. So it's important to set up the filters and then we're able to submit that. Once we've set up the segments, then we have the capability again of coming through marketing automation and then looking at components. Now, component talks about assets. So if you want to have a campaign, have newsletters, or have a form, we can be able to set this up. So we need to set, first of all, a category under assets and a category under forms, and then we are able to create new assets. So this is where we will save our newsletters, any documentation that we need to send to the client, we will save that here. This is where we're able to create a form, the form that we can use in our social media campaign, so that when a client comes in, fills the form, it automatically creates or gets into a lead or an email automation. So that is the purpose of that segment. We looked at components. Components talks about now the assets and the forms that we've just talked about. And then when you go to components, then there are channels. I'll jump just campaign for now, and then I put channels. So our channels can either be an SMS or an email. So I can come and I say, I want to add a new email and a channel. Internally, we can say is existing client or customers. I can say existing clients. Remember, we also created a template, and the template, we call it existing clients. I picked that up, and immediately the email will show that we've just designed to create. Once that is done, then I can submit that. We can send an example here, and then you'll be able to see how that email looks like, or however, so you can test that example. Then we go again under marketing automation, we go under channels, we created an email under channel, now we can also create an SMS. So you can see the flow of existing customer. We are tagging it all the way to, or tying it to existing customers as we move along. We got all the information for the existing customers. Just give me a minute. So the same with SMS, we can call it existing customers, and then of course we set up the category, and we also did set up the template. I think it was thank you. Then you can see the SMS here already populated, and then we submit that. Now once we are done with that setup, we can, points now goes into deeper marketing campaigns where we can award points to, in different areas. Different clients can be awarded points. When you open an email, you have different points. When you read the email, when you download an attachment, having different points in order to qualify the lead to different levels. So that's what we set up there. And we also set up different stages of the campaign. And at this stage, so we set up a stage that at this point, we give it weight. When a client reaches to this stage, it gives this weight. After these stages, and the client has not responded, they are removed from the campaign, and so forth and so on. Now we come to the campaign. So we want to do a campaign. We want to say thank you to our existing clients we want to send. So we say we add a new campaign. In this adding a new campaign, what we do, we title it again, existing customers. Remember, we already created an existing customers campaign category, and then with that, we can submit. So this opens up a builder for us, and we are able to build how the campaign workflow has to. So the first point is always the start. So the start is where we want to start from and say, this is a campaign. Is it for lead? It's not for leads, it's for existing customers. And here is where we can choose a group of clients. We wanted to have specific groups or Kenya clients or whatever groups that we've created. But this campaign, we want it to run to all, and we wanted to send it to active, all that are active and in all the groups. But we can actually change and say all the audit firms is we want to send it to all them, or we want to send a campaign to Kenyan clients. But in this specific case, we want to send to all. Then, in addition to that, we want to say, what do we want to do? We want to send an email to all our existing clients. At what point do we want to send an email? Do we want to send it right away, or after some certain date, or at exact time, or exact time and date? So we can choose right away, or we can say we want to send that after, say, days, after 10 or after 5 days, or whatever number of days. And the email we want to, remember the email we created is there, then you're able to pick. So all you do is just join these two. So we are saying all our customers, after 10 days, we want to send an email, and that email is the one we created there. Then once we've created, or once we've sent the email, we can now come to another action. Or we can go to action or conditions. The action can be, what do they do with that email, or what have they done once they do that? So action here is change stages, or delete, or remove campaign, or convert, or change lead, or delete the lead, or point of action. But before we do an action, we have a condition here that we can set. So the condition is that if that email is delivered or the client opens the email. So we say, okay, once we put this condition, we say after the client has opened an email, after 1 minute or after 1 hour, we want again to send this client an SMS. So we can put this here and say after 1 hour, we want to send an SMS right away after that email is opened. So with this, we just pull this over to this point and say after again 1 hour of the email being opened, send the campaign. In this SMS, we have already set up an SMS for existing clients. So this is how we can set up our campaign for clients. I'm trying to get my save button here. No. Let me just refresh and get the save. That's gone. Again, let me redo it again. Sorry, I didn't save that. So you put, I want to send it to the customers, and then you send what? Send emails. I want to send all group and to all active clients. Right away, the emails will go, and then the emails is to existing clients. And then condition here is that if they open that email, track delivery or track opens or clicks, opens again here, and then I say send an SMS. Send an SMS right away. And we already have the SMS template, and then we can save that campaign. So that is how we set our campaign. So this campaign of ours is set to start. We said we save it immediately. The cron job runs, we will send this email. So the action and everything, we are able to see now what actions. So there's an action of sending out emails to existing clients and existing customers, SMS. The table here will show us the statistics. Right now, because this campaign is not on leads, it's on customers, there's no name here. And then it will show all the customers that this campaign will run onto. And then we can test the campaign, and then we can do the configuration. Here is where we can change the SMTP. If we decided we were using different SMTP from the default ones, we're going to change the SMTP from here. However, the campaign is now fully set to run. So immediately this is set, and is set in live because it's supposed to run immediately. Then we'll expect the emails to go out to clients in terms of that automation campaign. So that's how we set up the campaign. Here in the reports, we'll be able to see now how many emails have gone. We'll be able to see the campaign report, how many campaigns are there. We'll be able to see what is the emails that have been sent, deliverable, the ones that have come through or not come through. We're able to see SMS reports and all the reports of assets sent, whether it's form, how many times they have been opened, and so forth and so on. And this now brings us to the dashboard. So that's simply how we use IXLCORE to set up a marketing campaign on sending out your emails out to your various clients or driving different campaigns. So you'll be able to see under the campaigns how each campaign is performing, because all the campaigns will be shown here. So from here you'll be able to see how your leads campaign performed, how your existing campaign performed once it's done. So this is published, it will be sent. We can not publish it and save it as that, and then the campaign will stay like that. This, again, we can view it as a list. We can view as a Kanban, existing customer campaign, the training campaign, whatever campaigns we have, all we can view them as charts. We can have a Kanban view of the campaign. So the marketing automation can assist one in driving new clients, that's lead acquisition, and can also assist in generating new customers. And that's how we drive a campaign under IXLCORE. Thank you very much.